This presentation will discuss the crime scene processing and procedures.
Upon arrival at the crime scene, protecting the crime scene areas, marking, tagging, sketching, photographs, and the collection of the physical evidences of the crime scene.
In the process of investigation, crime scene must be preserved, as it contains the essential ingredients surrounding the commission of the crime. Crime incident must be established as it will guide investigators in filling the proper charge. This process must be carefully and thoroughly to ensure that all evidence is collected and other fragile evidence is ensured in the process of investigation. First responder. They are those who are employed in the community with the end purpose of crime prevention. As part of their duties, first thing to do with the first responder is to check victim's condition, survey the scene and take notes information regarding crime incident. The first responder is responsible to isolate the place or to control the crime scene, so that an authorized person cannot enter the scene or the suspect cannot destroy the evidence. The first responder informs the SOCO team to investigate as soon as possible. The SOCO team composed of team leader, photographer, sketcher, evidence custodian, security, evidence collector, and medico-legal officer. SOCO team is a forensic evidence team engaged in the evidence collection and preservation process. SOCO are the only persons allowed to enter the crime scene to prevent mutilation, contamination, and alteration of evidence. The SOCO team cordon the area to protect the crime scene. The purpose of the cordon is to give barrier and protect the scene against contamination or damage. Note, before entering at the crime scene, the photographer take a picture of the whole crime scene for general view. The team leader must coordinate to the first responder. The team leader also responsible for taking notes of the time and date of the arrival at the crime scene, weather conditions, and write down the information gathered from the first responder. The team leader approaches the victim's dead body and conduct walk-through at the scene. The team leader conduct briefing of his team and make an appropriate assignments for his team members. SOCO begin to search for possible evidence. The SOCO team use strip search method in searching the crime scene. While searching the crime scene, SOCO will slowly carefully and thoroughly search for evidence at the crime scene. If possible evidence was found while searching, the team put markings beside the evidence, and the photographer must photograph it. The SOCO team must put letter for the cadaver, and put numbers for the physical evidence. It is also important to have scale of the evidence, to give visual and also the case number. The photographer must photograph the whole crime scene and each physical evidence they have found in general view, medium view, and close-up or extreme close-up view if needed. The sketches measures the dead body from point of origin or find to fixed point, which is not movable object. Also he measured each physical evidence to the distance from the cadaver. The sketcher should be able to draw and portray the crime scene. It is responsible to draw a rough sketch of the crime scene. Sketcher apply triangulation method. If all procedures was done, now it's time to collect physical evidence. Evidence collector collects the evidence and put it in a sealed containers with his initial, signature, and description of each physical evidence. When collecting biological evidence, evidence collector shall swab using a cotton buds and put it in a sealed containers. Each evidence found may be placed at separate sealed containers to prevent tampered. When evidence collector collects all evidence, it is the time to turn over to the evidence custodian by signing in the turnover receipt. The evidence custodian is responsible for preservation of the physical evidence and maintain the chain of custody of evidences. Before releasing the crime scene, the SOCO team conduct final search to make sure that they search the crime scene area carefully and thoroughly. The final procedures of the SOCO team is they releases the crime scene area to the owner of the place.